my goal is to try to get people who can't understand where we're coming from, where you see what's going on in the world right now. I panicked a little bit. Hey man, it brings back the old days. But
I was always ready to go. Anytime you show up to the party with this, it better be drinkable. Oh, there's that cinnamon.
Hey, yo, what up?
How's it going, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Men and Means podcast. We're back again. It's just down to two tonight.
Yeah, we're back down to the dynamic duo instead of the terrible trio. But you know what? As always, man, we keep this shit rolling.
Yep. Just for a little bit of honesty, Anthony was here for the sports section of it all.
Yes.
He made the critical mistake of smoking a cigar without any liquor in the system. We didn't notice it upon initial when it happened, but I would just say this. Looking at it after it kind of fucked him up a little bit, you got to have a little liquor, a little beer, something in the system to kind of help you out with especially with a cigar.
Yeah, yeah.
So it kind of got the best of him today. So I would say he has he's 1-2 with Johnny Walker.
Yeah.
He's 2-1. He got 2 losses.
Yeah.
Right now, AJ Fernandez, that's what we're smoking on tonight with the cigars.
Oh, AJ.
It's 1-0. It got the best of him tonight, so he had to peel out tonight.
And you know, I think that's just a lesson learned right there. He has a full glass of whiskey here, like we said. I made the same mistake once, man. I was at work and I was gifted some cigars, and I thought, you know what, fuck it, man. I watch these guys on YouTube, and they smoke cigars and they drink coffee, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna try the same. I sat outside, I smoked a cigar, I'm fucking drinking some coffee, and I go back into work, and I'm like, yeah, that was a critical mistake. It didn't work out. And to James's point, you got to be able to say, hey, you know, man, I don't know what it is, but it's like chemical balance. You know what I mean? Like your body lets you know you're missing something, buddy.
Yeah, it sure does let you know. So, you know, we're not gonna make too much fun of him tonight. Because
I kind of want to.
I kind of want to. I told him. I said, you leave. I'm gonna make. You know, I'm never gonna forgive you.
Can we make a bunch of memes like, oh my god, Fisher Price, my first cigar? You know what I mean? Things like that. You know what I'm saying? Fuck it, dude. Fucking pick on me all the time. I gotta live with it.
Yeah.
Nah, man. Anthony, man, he wanted to be here. It's just he got COVID.
COVID got the best of him. So if you guys see him, just let him know he needs a checkup.
Yeah. Hey, step your game up a little bit, son.
Yeah.
Anyway, as always, we're going to jump into whiskey time. And today, something I've heard a lot about, something that I've been excited to try, and I finally was able to, I don't want to say find it, but I was able to secure the bag, if you would. This is Laphroaig. 10-year aged Laphroaig. That's how you say it if you're looking at it right there. It looks a little weird, but it is called Laphroaig.
And guys, we also have been making a mistake for weeks.
Oh yeah,
because this is what we have called for weeks Islay Whiskey.
Islay, it's Islay. It's
Islay.
So you know what? Let's retract all our last videos.
Yeah, we didn't know what we were doing.
Since the art bag, it's Islay. So this is Laphroaig Islay single malt Scotch whiskey, aged 10 years. These guys have been doing this since 1815, so they know what they're doing. You know what I mean? And the Islay is definitely going to mean, you know, you got that peat rolling in there.
Yep.
A little peat
in it.
Yeah. And I think, James, if I'm not mistaken, you got a little background information that we kind of decided, you know what we'd like to do? We'd like to share a little more detail. We want to give you a better understanding of where we're at and what's going on here. So this isn't our review. This isn't our necessarily take. However, this is what the acclaimed critics have specified for it.
Right. So I'm just gonna read this out for you guys. So it says on the nose, this opens on big, smoky, muscular peat notes. There are spices and licorice as well as a big dose of salt. The whiskey has become slightly sweeter in recent years, and it appears beautifully on the nose, amidst the classic iodine sticking plasters and cool wood smoke we love. Okay, that's the nose. So for the palate, they got seaweed lead.
What the fuck is that?
I'm assuming the way they wrote it, it's like seaweed is like the the more
I
prevalent.
see. Like it leads.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
but it's hyphenated, so it's.
I thought you meant lead, like
yeah.
lead seaweed. I was like, what?
With the hint of vanilla ice cream and more than a whiff of notes from the first aid box.
Oh, fucking Band-Aids, dog.
What the fuck? So the oak is big and muscled its way into the fore. Oh my god, the fore as you hold its whiskey over your tongue. An upsurge of spices developed: cardamom, black pepper, chili. Finish: big and drying as the savory, tarry notes build up with an iodine complexity. If you guys aren't whiskey drinkers or alcohol drinkers and you hear this shit, it doesn't sound like something you should drink.
It sounds terrible. Does it feel like a first aid kit and iodine? No, I don't want to drink that. You know what I mean? Anyway, so we wanted to give you guys what everyone thinks, and I think what we want to do now is we want to come at you. Oh, you gotta hit that. We want to come at you with where we think we end up at compared to what that just said. And I think we can all agree ours is going to be vastly different than that right there. Seaweed lead. I don't know what that means. Don't want to know. But you guys are tuning in, so thank you. And here we are. As always.
Hello.
You can smell that peat.
Man, that smells good. That smells really good.
It does. It's the Islay.
It's
I like the Islay. The Islay, the on the nose, man. It just has this very distinct. And I don't know. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you guys this shit smells like fucking seaweed or whatever. You know what I mean? It smells delightful though.
Yeah. So if you guys haven't tried any of the Islay whiskeys that we've recommended, it's very in line with that. So when you smell this, it's very distinct. And I know when we say the peat moss that they use with the Islay whiskey, it's very prevalent. So if you guys do get a chance, just pick one up and you will see it's a little different than the regular Scotch that you may have tried. It has its own little smell to it, and this definitely is along the same lines of that.
And I want to suggest, if you guys are interested, if those of you who tune in because you like whiskey, go down to your Total Wines, your Bevmos, your places like that. They kind of break it down for you and make it a little easier to find. And if you haven't had an Islay, check it out. You know what I mean? It definitely is not going to disappoint. So with that, me on the nose, like I said, I smell that peat, which is moss. Again, if you guys missed another episode, it's just a moss of whatever that grows in this general area in Scotland that they infuse with it, I assume. I don't really know, but it's very interesting. And this is 43% alcohol, so it's a little tougher, but it doesn't smell like it's, and this is my thing. You smell a tequila, you smell a vodka for sure. It smells like rubbing alcohol. It's like, it's not appealing. This on the other hand, it's subtle. It's a nice medley of a symphony, if you would, of just melodic tones all around.
Yeah, and like I said, I'm getting that real peat smell from it, as well as I do get the salt. I do get that real iodine like smell to it. It's really, and I always like describe it as like a real open, like a real expansive smell, and it's because to me it smells very like fresh. It has like a real refreshing smell to it. Whenever I smell Islay whiskeys, it really does have that real like fresh smell to it. So I don't know if that's the peat, I don't know if that's the salt, but I just it, to me, it has a real expansive smell to it.
Which one was the one that we had and we said it was the Craig Islay?
Yeah, the Craig.
Now hold on, Craig Isle, because that's a different fucking thing.
That's Craig Isle, yeah.
Yeah, Craig Isle. That one I thought smelled fresh. It smelled like mouthwash. You know what I mean? It smelled like a sea breeze. I don't really get, and that was an Islay too, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it is. But the way I would describe it is it's sharp. It has a real sharp smell to it. You can smell, like I can smell, like I guess the peat, but it has a real sharp smell to it.
I smell the char in it, like the char from the barrel. I can smell that. I'm always a fan of that. That's kind of most prominent to me is that smell.
So let's go ahead and get into the palate.
Palate.
Cheers.
Cheers, my man.
Cheers. Anthony's not here.
Oh shit, Anthony. Your cigar's still sitting there. Fucking half done.
Asshole. That's good.
I really enjoy it.
That's good.
And here's my thing again. I don't know where these people that are so distinguished are getting these tastes from. I don't know what to equate it to. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know how to relate it back to you.
Are you getting vanilla?
A little bit.
I kind of am too.
On the back end, yeah, a little vanilla.
Yeah, a little vanilla.
Yeah. You know what's like weird? Until you said
sweet,
it,
but it's there.
Until you said it, though, I wouldn't have. But when you said it, yes, absolutely. And I want to say it's kind of a sweeter taste. Not to say it tastes like a mixed drink. I'm not a fan. Like, don't pour a bunch of shit in my drink. But I would say it definitely. It's on like a natural sweetness almost. You know what I mean? Like vanilla.
Like vanilla. You know? It's not sweet, but it's definitely got its own little
fucked up
sweetness.
Is like vanilla is usually equated to being bland.
Yeah.
Right? But not bland at all. There's full of flavors here. It's hard for me to put into words. Like it tastes like a Islay, for sure. And a damn good one.
Yeah. And so because we know those flavors are there, it might be easier for us to pinpoint, but I am getting a little bit of that peppery taste at the very end.
Yeah, you get a little spice.
Just a little bit, you know. And I would, again, like as we go through whiskey time, we are trying to get better. And I would suggest that people, when you guys go buy a bottle of liquor, a bottle of whiskey, figure out what they're trying to put across there. If they're telling you the vanilla notes, look for them. You may not be able to pinpoint them, but look for them. And that's where I think the craftsmanship behind these whiskeys comes in, is you can actually kind of test it out. It doesn't have to just be liquor flavor. So I am tasting some of the vanilla now that I know it's there. I am tasting some of that peppery taste, and that the peppery taste is what kind of lingers for me a little bit, and I really enjoy that.
Yeah. So this is a little bit of background, man. Laphroaig, the malted barley, is dried over a peat fire. So that maybe that's the smoke from the peat, which I was saying, that char flavor gives Laphroaig its particularly rich flavor. And that adds up to me. You know what I mean? But it's according to the people at Laphroaig, it's best savored neat or with a little cool water. And the Menemeans, we usually aren't adding water to it.
What's the cool water?
That's a cologne. A lot of you're gonna spray a little bit of that in your room, and then you go for it. No, I just think they're referring to a cooler water, right? I gotta say I do enjoy it. And we didn't do presentation there, so let's just jump into that a little bit.
Oh yeah,
we got another green bottle. So very much like the Islay Gold, which was good there, and the Ardbeg, both Islay whiskeys, Islay Scotch. I am not mad at that. I was telling James, man, they have these what looks like twist off caps. I don't really care for the craftsmanship in that. However, overall, not a bad looking bottle. I'm okay with it. I think outside of that one Craig Isle one, this is pretty standard format for what they do.
Right. Yeah. So presentation for me, I agree with you. The twist off cap, guys, just so you can see the YouTube, it's kind of like a prescription top.
Yeah.
And even the top is kind of it's plastic.
Yeah.
And it's kind of embossed in the top there. The top that's kind of it's not my thing at all. The actual bottle, I like the fact that it's green. I kind of like they use like a flat white,
right,
label. I'm not mad at the labeling. All that's fine. I didn't know how to pronounce this. Ken kind of schooled me on that, but I think it's kind of cool.
It actually tells you on the back of the bottle how to pronounce it.
It does.
Yeah, it's pronounced Laphroaig.
And it did come with the
Yeah, we
canister.
didn't mention that. It does come in the canister, as did the Ardbeg, I believe, and the Islay Gold for sure. Also came in canisters, like the nice little metal tin canister there,
That's what
to make sure that your package arrives safely.
Yeah, I like that. I like the colors. I like the green on the white.
Agreed.
It's a good bottle.
It's a good bottle. So again, if you have like a bar, you wanna display that. Especially if you're gonna put it in a canister, it looks nice. We usually here at the Minimines, in the Pocket Lab, we don't really keep them in the canisters, but
They don't make it.
yeah, we toss them. We're recyclers here, and we like to save the planet. So there you go. So that's the presentation. Price point. This one was $44.
Not bad at all.
Especially for something of this. Like I said, man, these to me, the Islas have been
Stuck on it.
pretty top notch. I've enjoyed them immensely, and I'm glad that I was introduced to them.
Yeah, I'm a fan of the Islas.
I gotta say too, man, I was driving the other day, and I was like, man, we've tried a good amount of whiskeys at this point.
Oh yeah, we have.
It's pretty cool.
About 32 or 33 different types.
And I'd like to say, man, if you guys are sitting out there, I'd like to get you guys to try to be in the same, maybe not as once a week or whatever, but just broaden your horizons a little bit. If you're going to the store, you know what I mean? You're like, hey, I've had this before, I liked it. Don't get it. Try something else. I've liked a lot of these, and I'm like, I'm not bringing it again. We're not gonna revisit it. We're gonna try something else, and it's worked out great.
Yeah.
It gets you to see what is it that you actually like. If you're being real kind of I don't know what I'm trying to say, but if you're closed-minded or boxed in, if you would, you're limiting yourself on what you may end up liking out there anyway.
Yep.
So definitely get out there and give them a shot. And if you're wondering, if you're somebody that's like, hey, I'm on the edge, I don't know what I really like, whatever, I'd go with the Isla. You know what I mean? Like, I think give that a shot and see where you're at.
Yeah.
I know a lot of bourbon guys that are real hard on those. Try the Isla.
Yeah, and honestly, I'll just say that if you've had whiskey and what you've had is bourbons, and maybe they're too harsh for you, Scotches tend to have a little more flavor.
Yeah.
They're a little easier on the palate. Just give them a shot. Because I think 9 times out of 10, you pour, like, even if you wanted to mix this into an old fashioned or a whiskey drink of your choice, Islay whiskeys and scotches tend to be a little easier for you to enjoy because there's more flavor there.
Yeah.
And I'm not knocking on the bourbon. I'm just saying if bourbon's too harsh for you, because we've learned that we do like bourbons more than we thought we did.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But if bourbons are a little too much, you want an easier drink, Scotch.
Which it was just kind of to the point I was making, right? Like, we initially were like, oh, I don't know, I want to stay away from the bourbons, but like Buffalo Trace was one I was like, damn, that's really good. Yeah. You know what I mean? And again, they're not too crazy priced. $44. It's a little more than some of the other more popular brands, I think, but I think you get your money's worth of what you're spending there.
Yeah. So let's get into the overall rating of this thing.
All right. Overall, like I said, I think it hits well on all categories. I right off the top, I want to compare it to the Islay Gold. I really think that's the only one that's even comparable, if I'm being honest. They're very similar, and I want to say I think I rated the Islay Gold at 8, and I'm going to go with an 8 here.
Yeah, that makes sense. Islay Gold was one of the first ones that we were like, wow.
Yeah.
Islay whiskey. This is right in line with that, and I'll just show you guys real quick. Usually, me and Ken, we don't pass the halfway mark because trying to keep it together. This one has been an easy drink
smooth.
for us. That to me is a huge testament to what this whiskey is. I'm the same way. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna rate this at 8. Easy 8.
Oh shit, dude, this can be tough to figure an average out.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
This is the easy 8 because it's just price point, what you're getting here, 10-year Scotch.
Yeah.
Flavors there. I liked it from the smell. Right when we fucking popped the cork.
We poured it. Yeah.
We poured it. The smell was great. The palate was great. I'm gonna go ahead and rate this an easy 8. no problems. I would actually recommend this to people.
Yeah, definitely.
No problems at all. So I'm gonna go ahead and rate this 8, and that takes us to an average of a fucking 8.
Is it? Can you?
8.
Are you sure? 16 divided by 2 is fucking shit. 8.
8.
8.
8. Everybody.
Average of an 8. Which I think for us is fairly high. You know what I mean?
It is high.
Yeah, that doesn't come easy anymore these days. So that's a to me too, and it's accessible. It's a must buy.
It's a must buy.
Yeah, that's the way I'm gonna look at it.
I would say if I could, I would number one I would recommend this, but more than that I would encourage you to go and pick up one of these and just give it a shot.
I rebuy it. You know what I mean? So, and to me, that says everything. There's a lot of things that we've drank here that I'm like, yeah, it was cool. I had it. I wouldn't go and get it again. Not to say it was bad. I wouldn't get it again. You know what I mean? Like a lot of the whiskeys I think we get here, we're purely doing this to review them. You know what I mean? But this one is one I'd want to have in my personal collection at the house. And this is something I'd like to show people. Yeah,
this is definitely one that I enjoy a lot.
Yeah.
It's good.
So there you have it, man. That's our whiskey review. And tonight we paired that with the AJ Fernandez. AJ Fernandez cigar, which defeated Anthony. You know what I mean?
Literally defeated Anthony.
Yeah.
He had to go home.
Yeah.
Tuck himself in.
And he didn't get here in the best conditions.
No.
You know, we won't get into it, but he didn't get here in the best conditions. He was disheveled when he arrived. All right. And today just wasn't his day.
It was a bad day for him.
And I know Anthony, you're gonna listen to this, and we kept it mild for you today. Buddy.
We kept it extremely mild.
Yeah.
I told Anthony before he left, I was like, hey, I will never fucking let you live this down. But I will say, you got to come back strong next week.
Yeah. And you know what? We won't let him live it down. We're just not going to do it here.
Right.
But man, he's going to get it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's just the way that's going to go.
Yep.
So with that though, I think that'll conclude our whiskey time. But you know what, man? Let's just jump into the cigar a little bit. AJ Fernandez. I don't know the model or whatever.
It's the New World Gobernador.
Well, there you have it, man, and that's from a straight Spanish speaker himself.
It's AJ Fernandez, and huge shout out to Jose.
Yeah.
Because every cigar that, like I told Ken, that comes to the table, I've heard Jose's voice say those names, and it sticks. And we even called him today to say, hey, how do you want to cut this?
So here's
how
the thing.
Should we cut this?
So okay, and anybody out there that's not into cigars, right? Cigars, from what I know now, and I'm very new to it, right? There's 3 ways to cut them. You could punch it, you can V cut it, or you can straight cut it. And I have a method of doing all 3. You know, I mean, if you want to dive in, you dive in. And so, luckily, my lighter has a punch. My V cut has a punch, and then I have the straight cut. And I got the V cut because Jose had one, and I was like, how dare you outclass me, you know? And I don't know what the fuck to use. So I call him today, like, hey, man. And I should mention, too, this is a box press cigar. So if those of you don't understand what that means it's kind of, it looks like it was flattened a little bit. So box press, the way I associate it is like somebody put a box and let it sit on top of the cigar. And maybe that is what they do, maybe not. Yeah, but that's what it looks like.
It's kind of squared off.
Yeah, it's squared off a bit. So when it comes to cutting it, you know, I'm looking at it like, I don't know what's the best method. It's a little rounded at the end. I'm not sure. I call Jose. I tell him I want to punch it. And he was like...
He did give us a
he told
confusing answer.
Yeah, and I was like, hey. So I just push it in and like twist it a little bit. He goes, I'm not going to tell you to do that because if you mess it up, that's on you. You know what I mean? And to be fair, I tried to punch it. It looks like it was messing up a little bit, so I went with the V cut the punch out, and then I was in the game. You know what I mean? As soon as I do it, I was like, yeah, it looks like it's pilling. He goes, you fucking ruined it.
Yeah.
You know?
He hung up.
Yeah, I gotta go. You've ruined it, and I'm disgusted in you. And so I decided, well, if it's ruined, I might as well try the V cut. That worked out lovely.
Yeah.
And I think we all followed suit with that from there.
Yep.
So yeah, we just kind of want to give you a little background on the cigars we have. How'd you feel about this one?
Well, I always like the cigars that are a little bit darker.
Right.
You know, they're not the lighter ones. So I enjoyed this one a lot. The flavor was good.
Yep.
So a lot of people can smell the flavor. Usually, when I'm smoking a cigar, I don't smell it as much,
Right.
but I can really taste the cigar.
Yeah.
So for me, it had a real strong, good flavor to it. And I was telling Ken, I don't know if this happens to everybody else, but I almost get this numbing feeling in my mouth.
The words you used were, I could feel it in my mouth.
And there's some heat.
Yeah.
So you guys make of that what you will, but
James felt the heat in his mouth
the flavor
while he put the cigar in.
the flavor was actually really, really good for me. And I really enjoyed it. I really enjoy the cigar a lot.
Yeah, it was a good cigar. And I think between James and myself, I think the darker cigars kind of carry a little richer flavor. And I enjoy that. And I'm sorry, but I can't help but think what we're saying. And I'm like the darker ones when I fucking there's a million jokes you can make about that. And I hope you all do. And you know what? I'm going to say this. If you come up with a good joke, write a fucking comment on Instagram.
Yeah.
Write on the YouTube.
That would be great.
Take some time. Be creative.
Just leave a damn comment.
So Travis, I'm expecting something from you because these are the things that you're great at, and I'd love to see what you have to say. And you smell like milk. So moving on, right? Yeah, that's kind of our cigar review as well. I'm not say by no means do I think we're experts on either of these two. So you're just getting our personal perspectives on where we're at. Good cigar, great whiskey. I've had a blast with these two so far already. So now let's jump into what we do best, man. We're gonna podcast with the podcasters.
Okay, so the podcast topic that we had brought up was from
the gentleman I just mentioned.
Yes, it was from Travis.
Travis, so you better be tuned in.
You better tune all the fucking way in. So it's something in your life you enjoy that people may judge you for or try to convince you not to do.
Yeah.
That's
that's pretty much my entire life.
That's kind of like a guilty pleasure. That's a good topic.
Yeah, it is. And that's so Travis, big
Shout out.
Thank you for that. And I'll talk a little bit about Travis after we get in this topic. But James, you want to take this or you want me to jump in?
Now go ahead, jump in. I'm still thinking.
Okay, so I'm gonna say this right off the top. I enjoy drinking. You know what I mean? And I think